Hey there, Heather. Hello there. It's Jeff Cutter down welcoming you to yet another time travel tennis tournament. We are trying to do some stuff in qualifications for the Grandman Tour. This stop of the Grandman Tour qualifiers in Madrid on clay court and six male tours, 16 competitors per tour will make 96 with the Grandman Tour coming up next year. Yeah, 6 times 16. So if you win your round of 32 match, you're definitely in. There might be some differentials and all that. You lose, you might be okay, but depending on a few things. And one of them is for duplicates, because there are people who have been in for duplicates. A chance to get in both in this tournament, the modern men, and the 2020 thing. Only four possible guys can do that. Federer and Wawrinka are already in play. So Federer and Wawrinka have done the double. Federer actually took third place in the 2020 tournament. Wawrinka did not. Wawrinka did not medal. So Wawrinka, if he can get to the top three, he can get maybe a seeding into the Grandman Tour, the first tournament. The rules are the six tournaments, the top three players from each thing could get a seed. Well, you can get up to 16 seeds and all that. But yeah, it's 1 to 16. I think if it's 90, is it wait, if it's 96, no, then there's two. It can't be 96 players on the first one. So 1 to 16. So yeah, if you win a tournament, the group you get a seed from 1 to 6. And that would be huge and all that. If you take second, you go from 7 to 12. And if you're from third, you get 13 to 18. Two of the six men will not get in to seeding. Predicament. But anyway, yeah, Federer did take third in the 2020 thing. If he does get to the final of this tournament, he will jump up. And then, of course, the 2020 guys, he'll probably drop down, and maybe people like Sheriff will be given a shot. Nevertheless, Wawrinka is trying to make top three so that he can get seeded, and his 2020 guy can be taken out. Chilich and Nadal are the only other two, but they will be playing tomorrow. Tomorrow they've announced that all six matches tomorrow will have a Spaniard in it. There is no Spain versus Spain matchup. So Juan Carlos Ferrero versus Marat Safin and Fernando Verdasco versus Nikolai Davydenko on the left side of the bracket would pretty much be played, but because it's Spain, they will be waiting till tomorrow to play. Albert Costa will play today. Well, Alex Correia versus Novak, Carlos Moya versus Leighton Hewitt, Bruguera versus Marin Cilic, and Rafa versus Novak, but the Czech Novak. So those four matches with the Spaniards will be with Ferrer and Verdasco. So there are six matches. There are only four matches today, and that's the top half of the right-hand bracket. Yesterday we saw Federer beat Klassen, Nalbandian beat Krickstein. We saw Stan Wawrinka upset Pete Sampras, putting Sampras in perspective. Andy Murray also fell flat, losing to Gaston Gaudio in an upset. But both Roddick and Del Potro won their matchups, despite the fact that, it's on clay and, the course was random. All right, so our first matchup is going to be Jim Courier, the 4 seed, against Gilles Simon. Simone and Pumba. Simone won the Tokyo Super Tennis Tournament in week 32. When he beat Krickstein, Johansson, Safin, Raptor, and Unquist to get in automatically, he had to beat Rosetsky, aka Benedict Arnold. Jim Courier won a couple of tournaments. He was actually supposed to only win one tournament, the DC Tennis Classic, which means he was ineligible to compete in other tournaments. But because of the fact that somebody forgot to tell him Jim Courier was supposed to be booted, he won a second tournament when he wasn't supposed to. So week 22, he went to DC, he went to Washington on clay. Yeah, on clay, he won against Fish, Bersuguti, Fernando Gonzalez, and Morelos. And then they took Victoria to Melbourne. For some reason, he went in. He beat Norman Rafter, Verdasco, and Martin when he wasn't supposed to. Here we go.
Quiet, please. Simon to serve. First game. Play.
Right. Spectate.
15. Love. 30 love.
Out.
40 love.
Out. Out.
40 15. Game, Simon. First game.
All right. Yeah, it's 15 minutes, right? Yeah.
Out.
15 love.
Out.
15 all. 15 30.
Out.
15 40.
Out.
Game, Simon. Simon leads 2 games to love. First set.
Looks good for Simone.
15 love.
Out.
30 love. 40 love.
Out.
Game, Simon. Simon leads 3 games to love. First set.
Simone up 3-0. Wow. Well, he knows Courier does not like clay surfaces. Is this an upset? You gotta be kidding me. No, it's not. Simone falters. He wins 6-1, and it's like, well, Shield Simone is going to the Grand Man tournament and knocking Courier off his peg. Nope. Courier survives 1-6, 7-5, 6-3. So Simone thought he was safe as houses, but not so fast. Courier defeats Simone and will move on to the Grand Man Tour. Of course, there is a lot to play for in the round of 16 because, as you say, if you win the tournament, you get a seed from 1 to 6. And then you take second, 7 to 12, and third, 13 to 18. Next up is the 15 seed Michael Chang against Guillermo Coria, another tough Argentine like Gaston Gaglio. Chang's won 2 straight against Coria. This will be the third guy he's faced 3 times. He has a losing record against Hassan Wawrinka, playing him 3 times, but he's got a winning record anyway. He won the Brisbane Open in week 30, got to the quarterfinals in Australia, which is, it's funny. 1 Grand Slam he went out in the first round, 1 he lost in the second round, 1 he lost in the third round, and went to the quarterfinals. Weird. So yeah, he went Brisbane in week 30, which was a tournament over Bergman, Courtin, Johansson, Kariya, one of his 2 wins against Korea, and Wawrinka. In Australia, he got to the quarters. He beat Korda even though he was down 2-0, so in sets, he had to do the reverse sweep. He took down Mantilla in a sweep. Goran gave him a tough time in 5 sets, but left him successful for Sampras. Coria 0-2, trying to beat Mr. Chang. This is the first guy he's faced 3 times. He won the tournament in Spain, so he knows Spain too well. He did win here in Barcelona. No, he won in Barcelona, beating Korda, Verdasco, Curtin, and Bersuguti. Move on. He had to beat Wayne Ferreira to get here.
Quiet please. Coria to serve. First game.
Let's see what
Play.
happens here.
Out.
Love 15. 15 all. 30 15.
Out.
40 15. Game, Coria. First game.
Quarter of the first one.
Love 15.
Out. Out.
Love 30.
Out.
Fifteen 30. Fifteen 40. Game Coria. Coria leads 2 games to love. First set.
Out.
15 love.
Out.
30 love.
Out.
30 15. 40 15. Game Coria. Coria leads 3 games to love. First set.
Korea 3-0. Wow. He's proving to Michael Chang that he belongs. And he does. Wow. Chang did not have any answer. None so ever. And Guillermo Coria will join his fellow Argentine Gaston Gaudio in the Grandman Tour automatically. He wins 6 bagels, 6-2. And this is a seed. How many bagels were in the round of 64? Well, Gaudio beat Kolitnikov in the second set, 6-love. And that's only the second bagel. And it's Argentine. So Coria will face Courier in the round of 16. Of course, that match is important. Our next matchup is number 12, Tim Henman versus Malavai Washington, who actually was the second last player picked to go on. Stan Wawrinka was the 9th last pick to join the Grandman Tour, qualifying tournament, and Wawrinka is in. Malavai 1-2 against Henman. This is the first cutter, or whatever. Get your head out of the gutter. The tennis player who's faced 4 times. He did well getting to the quarters in Montreal. And in Houston, got a pair of semifinals. And a final in Belgium in week 5. So he did okay. Quarters in Houston after beating Murray and Rios. Yeah, beating Andy Murray is not so easy. And then he lost to Wayne Ferrero. In Brussels, he beat Novak, as in Yuri Novak, JC Ferrero, Layden, and Wawrinka to face Rafa to lose. Only to lose. He got to the semis in Indy, being Rios, Medvedev, and Korda on clay, mind you, but lost to Carlos Maya. He got to the quarters in Montreal, being Kucera and Ritsetsky, putting that Benedict Arnold in his place, and lost to Chilich. Quarters in Geneva after being Ferrero and Verdasco on clay. Yeah, on clay. He lost to Krejci. Semis in New South Wales, where there's only 16 guys. He beat Courtin and Chang before losing to Ferreira. And he beat Pat Rafter to get this far. Henman 2-1 against Mr. Malavai. This will be the third golf cutter. You did it again. Third tennis player he's faced 4 times. He's faced Thomas Muster 5 times, being 2-3, and Pat Rafter 2-2 against him. Rafter won the London Cup. Well, come on, you really think he wasn't going to do well in England? He actually got to the final in Montreal. He beat Magnus. He beat Muster, Korda, and Rafter to lose to Chilich, who will have his match later on. Yeah, Chilich will have a match later on tomorrow. Then in London, at the London Cup with 16 guys, he beat Baghdadis, Rios, Krickstein, and Courtin to automatically qualify for this tournament.
Quiet please. Henman to serve. First game. Play.
Out.
Love 15. $15 all.
Out. Out.
$15.30. $15.40. $30.40.
Out.
Deuce.
Out.
Advantage, Henman. Game, Henman. First game.
Out.
15 love.
I just go. No change, babe.
30 love. 30-15. 40-15.
Out.
40-30. Deuce.
Out.
Advantage, Henman. Deuce. Advantage, Washington. Deuce. Advantage, Washington.
Out.
Deuce.
Out.
Advantage, Washington.
Out.
Game, Washington. One game all, first set.
These two guys are going toe to toe.
$15 love.
Out.
30 love. 30-15. 40-15. 40-30. Game, Henman. Henman leads 2 games to 1, first set.
So Henman goes up 2-1. The question on my mind is, does he have it? The answer is narrowly, but yes. Henman takes down Malavai by a score of 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. So Tim Henman will be going to the Grand Men Tour, not Malavai Washington. I feel bad for the guy. Unfortunately, unlike the ladies tour, which had 4 tours, but instead of 4 times 16, we go 4 times 24 to make it equal to the men for 96 people. You don't get rewarded for losing unless there's like a doubled guy. But yeah, that's what happens. And one more match, and it's the Spaniard Albert Costa versus Andre Agassi. With the long hair, Andre Agassi. Rankings breakdown. He did win Houston in week 4, so he basically went quickly. 29-7. He's good. Anyway, Philly first week he beat Simone Ferreira and Ferrero, but lost Andy Murray. Then in Memphis he beat Halasek, Safin, and Medvedev before Novak got him. Then Delray he beat Wawrinka, Curtin, and Safin before Novak got him again. Houston he got his revenge. Well, he beat Enquist, Roddick, Ferrera, and then Del Potro. He didn't have to play in any weekly tournaments. And then in France at the French Open he beat Tsonga and Muster in straight sets. He actually had to fight against Better Seguti, actually down 2-0. But he came back with a first sweep, and then Corton beat him in the quarterfinals in 4 sets. At Wimbledon, he got to the semis. He beat Muster, Rafter, all in straight sets. Fernando in 4 sets against, and then Juan Carlos Ferrero gave him a tough time, but Andy Murray beat him in the semis in 4 matches. New York City, he beat Nalbandian, Nishikori, Wawrinka, Novak, and Andy Murray before losing to Federer. Australia beat Magnus Norman, Wawrinka, and Rutsetsky before losing to Novak. So he's had a tough time. Costa trying to win for all of Spain. He won the Pro Championships in week 21 in Boston, a pair of round of 16s. He beat Leighton and Borkman before losing to Rafa. And then in Boston, he beat Malavai, Cilic, Haas, and Corton to get in. And then round of 16 in New York, beating Patrick McEnroe and Simone and Pumba, but losing to Del Potro.
Quiet, please. Agassi to serve. First game. Play.
Hey.
Out. Out.
Love 15.
Out.
$15 all. 30-15.
Out. Out.
30 all. 30-40. Deuce. Advantage, Costa. Game, Costa. First game. Love 15. 15 all.
Out.
30-15. 30 all.
Out. Out.
40-30. Deuce. Advantage, Agassi.
Out.
Deuce. Advantage, Costa.
Out.
Game, Costa. Costa leads 2 games to love. First set.
Costa up 2-0.
out,
Love 15. 15 all. Thirty 15. 40 15.
out,
Game Agassi. Costa leads 2 games to 1 first set.
So Costa's up 2-1. What the heck? So does Agassi win? Yes, he does. And Costa looked like he was going to go and be the first Spaniard to get into the Grandman Tour from this league. Not so fast. Agassi proving why he is Andre freaking Agassi. Winning 3-6, 7-5, 6-4. So Costa is out. Oh, look, Agassi will face Henman in the round of 16. So, what does the round of 16 is? We know it's Federer versus Nalbandian, and Baranka has to wait for one of the Spanish matchups. Gaudio has to wait for a Spanish a matchup. Roddick will face Del Potro. Agassi versus Henman. And Coria will face Courier in the next round. So, yeah, this could be a big moment. But remember, seeding is important. Let's see what happens. So, of course, we'll go through 6 matches tomorrow. JC Ferraro, Fernando Fiasco, Alex Correia, Carlos Moya, Sergey Bruguera, and Rafa Nadal will try to go for their spots, and 5 of the 6 players are unseeded. So, we'll see. Personally, I think that Safin will sneak in over JC Ferraro. I think Verdasco will be Davydenko. Novak could be Croatia. Moya might pull one off on Layden. I think it will be Cilic nearly being Bruguera, and Rafa's got to beat Yuri Novak. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.